Let us see the findings in thyroid gland in Graves' disease. Findings in thyroid gland in Graves' disease. Findings in thyroid gland in Graves' disease. Graves' disease. One is hyperactive or hyperactive, that means increased uptake of thyroid radioactive iodine. First is increased uptake of radioactive iodine. And there will be increased vascularity in thyroid gland, that means hypervascularity. Increased hypervascularity. This is most predominant at upper pole. Hypervascularity is most predominant at upper pole. There will be palpable thrill. And there will be audible bruit. Okay, fifth one is, now there will be audible venous hum. Okay, all these things are seen. Then investigation for diagnosis. For diagnosis there is presence of eye signs. So investigation, what we do is we will look for eye signs. These eye signs are diagnostic in patients of hyperthyroidism. As all of us know, hyperthyroidism is seen in Graves' disease. And the single investigation used to confirm the diagnosis is presence of antibodies. Single investigation to confirm the diagnosis. To confirm the diagnosis, we look for antibodies. Antibodies means their antibodies are formed against TSH receptor site. So we look for the antibodies. Then moving to management. We will give treatment for sympathetic stimulation. First, we will give treatment for sympathetic stimulation. So we want to reduce the sympathetic stimulation, so we will give propranolol. We will also give anti-thyroid drugs. The drugs we give here are methimazole, carbimazole, propylthiouracil. And the side effects of methimazole is, okay, and if we give before going to side effects, we will see If you give antithyroid drugs within 2 weeks, there will be symptomatic improvement. Within 2 weeks, there will be symptomatic improvement. And in within 6 weeks, there will be euthyroid, and the patient will become euthyroid. Within 6 weeks, the patient becomes euthyroid. Now let's see the side effects of these drugs. So the first is methimazole. The side effects of methimazole is choanal atresia, aplasia cutis, agranulocytosis. Then coming to side effects of propylthiouracil. In propylthiouracil, the side effects are hepatic failure. The side effects is mainly hepatic failure, and especially this happens in children and female. Then we will see the drug of choice for different conditions in different situations. For Graves' disease, it's mainly methimazole. In Graves' disease, we mainly use methimazole, right? There are many, as I told you, there are mainly 3 drugs, right? Methimazole, carbimazole, and propylthiouracil. We mainly use methimazole. Okay. But in pregnancy, when the patient is pregnant, then we'll use carbimazole. In a thyrotoxic crisis, we'll use propylthiouracil. Because this propylthiouracil, it prevents conversion of T4 to T3. This conversion will be impaired, will be affected. So propylthiouracil is used for thyrotoxic crisis. You see, T3 is the main enzyme that does action. Okay, thyroid peripherally, T4 will be converted to T3 for the action to be done. For action to happen, T4 must be converted to T3. So T3 will do action. So this conversion will be affected by propylthiouracil. So we use propylthiouracil in thyrotoxicosis. And treatment of choice is surgical treatment, mainly total thyroidectomy. This is surgical treatment. Okay, total thyroidectomy. Alternative treatment is radioactive iodine ablation. Other treatment is radioactive iodine ablation. Let us see the indications of this radioactive iodine ablation. We are discussing about radioactive iodine ablation. Let us see the indications. Indications are elderly patients. Because you see, in radioactive iodine ablation, what happens is we'll try to make the patient hypothyroid. In what happens is, radioactive iodine ablation thyroid tissue will be destroyed, will destroy the thyroid tissue permanently. So the if more tissue is damaged or destroyed, then the person will become hypothyroidism permanently. So in young patients we do not prefer this, we usually don't prefer, because if the patient becomes hypothyroidism permanently, then it will be problematic to that patient. Okay, so we'll prefer this type of treatment in elderly patients. Second one is patients with surgical comorbidities. Patients with surgical comorbidities, that means if the if there are any contraindications to the surgery, then we prefer this radioactive iodine ablation. And if there is reoccurrence after surgery, reoccurrence after surgery, in these three conditions we prefer radioactive iodine ablation. One is elderly patients, second one is patients with surgical comorbidities, and third is recurrence after surgery. Let us see contraindications. Contraindications, absolute contraindications and relative contraindications. Absolute contraindications and relative contraindications. Absolute contraindications are pregnancy and lactation. Relative contraindications are young patients, young patients, young patients and smokers, and in ophthalmopathy. Ophthalmopathy. Okay, in ophthalmopathy, these are the relative contraindications. Okay, so this is about radioactive ablation and the treatment and management of Graves' disease.